Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. The 357 District Court will call this court into session for today's docket hearing, Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022, at 8 o'clock in the morning. Starting with civil hearing, 2021 DCL 2174, Itzel Martinez, Carlos Michelle Martinez, Mr. Mendoza.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning.
My client should be online.
I see Itzel Martinez there.
Mr. Martinez supposedly filed the one in this case, filed a waiver.
All right, well, she's on. Ms. Martinez, can you please come on the screen? Itzel,
Yes, give me.
there you go.
There we go.
Good morning. Raise your right hand, ma'am. Ms. Martinez, raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Ms. Martinez.
You solemnly swear from the testimony you will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
Mr. Mendoza, proceed.
Yes, ask the court to take judicial notice of all documents on file. Please state your name for the record, Ms. Martinez.
Itzel Martinez.
Okay, and prior to filing this divorce, you lived in the state of Texas for 6 months,
Yes.
and you lived in the county of Karen for 90 days?
Yes.
Okay, and you're married to Carlos Michael Martinez, is that correct?
Yes.
And you were married on September 15 of 2014,
Yes.
and you stopped living together as husband and wife on July of 2018?
Yes.
And
You're muted, Mr. Mendoza. Mr. Mendoza, you're muted.
I guess it went back. And Ms. Martinez, and you're asking for a divorce because of marriage between you and the respondent has become insupportable because of discord or conflict, is that correct?
That's right.
And that destroys the legitimate ends of the marriage?
Yes.
And there's no expectation of reconciliation?
No.
Okay. And with regard to children, how many children were born?
2.
And what are their names?
Allison and Alexandra Martinez.
Okay. And are you currently pregnant?
I am.
Okay. Now, I just found out that this morning, is that correct?
That's right.
Now, you've been separated for over 3.5 years, more or less, from your husband. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Is this child a
Mr.
product?
Mendoza,
Yes, Your Honor.
just kind of something that popped in my head here. Can we do this? When she's
Well, I just found out this morning, and I know that some courts, and I haven't seen the statute myself, but some courts, they postpone the court until the child is born.
Well, because we got to determine to make sure it's not child of his marriage and, whatever. And the father of this child will take responsibility and get on record as being the father. Otherwise, she's pregnant during the divorce. And so, I don't know. I haven't read that section of the family code, but we can certainly take some time this morning to do it, Ms. Mendoza, to make sure we do it correct. And that way, Ms. Martinez doesn't have to come back, or she has to come back, the reason why she has to come back.
Okay, well.
I'll take some time off and let me call the other case that I have pending, and I'll come back to you.
Okay, I'm gonna go research that right now and see what it
Yes,
says.
sir. Ms. Martinez, hold on a second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let me call 2021 DCR 2307. Ethan Scout, State of Texas versus Ethan Scout Works. Mr. Garza.
Yes, Your Honor, Hugh Touche for Mr. Garza's office.
All right. What are we doing on this? This is announcement or trial on March the 28th.
Your Honor, I'm in the process of getting Mr. Works into the PTD program.
Okay,
Probably need maybe a 2-week reset. We should have it done by then.
my experience has been 30 days would be probably better.
That'll be fine, Your Honor.
Give me 30 days, Ms. Salas or Ms. Solis. April 22nd, Mr. Touche.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the date?
Yes, sir. April 22nd.
Okay, April 22nd, 8 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're very welcome. Have a good day. 2021 DCR 2877, Dolores Mendoza, Ms. Peña.
Good morning, Your Honor. It's going to be a plea and we have e-filed the plea papers.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a second.
Thank you, Your Honor.
2020 DCR 2000, State of Texas, Benito Eugenio Pardillo, Mr. Delgadillo.
He's not on.
Mr. Delgadillo is running late. I know he was having problems locating it's a PTD revocation. I did send him notice, the defendant, but I don't see him on the screen.
Benito Eugenio Pardillo. Okay, Mr. Rivera, call out his name. Mr. Rivera.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's hold on and proceed to Mr. Chiche get back and figure out, can we, in the meantime, Ms. Brenda, or can you do the plea paper?
Okay, Dolores Mendoza. Unmute yourself, please.
There you go.
Okay. Did
Okay.
your attorney explain this paperwork to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for your attorney?
No, ma'am.
And is this your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Works, your case has already been reset to April 22nd. So you can go ahead and log off.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have a good day.
You're welcome. You too.
Ms. Nora. Or Ms. Solis, are the hearings going to be on Zoom next week? For your court on Wednesday, this is Lily.
Yes, for what, Lily?
Are the court hearing going to be next Wednesday on Zoom?
Yes,
Yeah, okay. I have a lady from Garland, so I just needed to let her know. Okay.
yes. You
Thank
have somebody right next week?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you're gonna keep her on?
Yes.
Yes?
Well, well, yeah, we're trying to see what the guy will do.
Okay.
Son Brittany.
Yeah, let me see, you have Brittany, right? Brittany Williams?
Yeah, and her co-defendant.
And the co-defendant is the one with Luis Sorolla, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we'll keep them on. Let's see what happens since they're both together.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, are we ready to go anything? The plea paper.
He was called 3 times and then there was no answer.
All right, Ms. Aranda, what says the state in State of Texas, Benito Eugenio Pardillo?
State asks that KPS be issued, bond be forfeited, bond be set to no bond, and judgment in eyesight be issued in favor of the state.
Okay. Granted.
Ms. Mendoza, raise your right hand and unmute yourself. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony given be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. You can put your hand down.
All right, this is the State of Texas versus Dolores Mendoza, 2021 DCR 2877. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Who is Ms. Peña? What is she pleading guilty to?
There's 3 counts in the indictment. Yeah. All 3.
What are they?
Basically, DWI injuring 3 different people, Your Honor, that were in the vehicle.
Okay, but
It's
what is the charge? DWI or what? I want to make sure that she understands what the specific.
intoxication of assault with a vehicle, Your Honor. State jail felony with substantial bodily injury.
Okay, so the first count is DWI, the other 2 counts are intoxication assault?
No, all 3 are intoxication assault, Your Honor. Yes.
Do you understand that, Ms. Mendoza?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand also that you're pleading guilty to 3 counts of intoxication assault, and all 3 of them are violation of a 3rd-degree felony in the state of Texas, which calls for confinement in prison for a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2. In addition, I can impose a fine not to exceed $10,000. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
And are you doing this freely and voluntarily, Ms. Mendoza?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is it necessary to rearrange, Ms. Mendoza?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Mendoza, understanding what charges you're pleading guilty to, understanding what the range of punishment is to each count, and now ask you in cause number 2021 DCR 2877, what is your plea to the charges as alleged in count 1, 2, and 3 of the indictment of intoxication assault? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
On each count?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because to this counts because you're in fact guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, sir.
Are you perhaps pleading guilty out of any persuasion of fear, hope of pardon, force, threats, or promises of any kind?
No, sir.
Have you ever been in a mental hospital treated by a doctor for any mental disorders?
No, sir.
Ms. Peña, you find Ms. Mendoza competent and able to assist in any defense she may have?
She is competent, Your Honor, and she's been able to assist.
All right. Ms. Mendoza, your plea of guilt comes to me with a recommended sentence, which I'm sure your counsel has gone through it with you, what they're recommending to me that I punish you in this case. What you need to know about that recommended sentence, the decision of whether to go along with it or not, is totally only up to me. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I may, after a further discussion or evaluation, determine that this is not an appropriate sentence in light of the facts, and I may reject it. If I reject it, I will allow you an opportunity to withdraw your plea of guilty, take it back, like I said, if you had not appeared before me this morning, and proceed to a jury trial as is your right to begin with. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The flip side of that coin is this. If I accept it, if I follow the recommendation, and you may not appeal your case without the court's permission, except as any pretrial motions Ms. Peña may have filed on your behalf prior to today. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. In that case, I'm going to find that your plea of guilt is freely and voluntarily made, and you're competent to stand trial. That's the court, the prosecutor to provide evidence to substantiate the plea.
State offers exhibits 1, 2, and 3 into evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
They will be admitted. Ms. Mendoza, I have here a set of documents. Can you see them?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is commonly referred to as a plea packet. All these documents are related to the case that you're now in front of me, that you're pleading guilty to, okay? It consists of 3 exhibits. Exhibit number 1 is a nine-page document, and on page 7, there's a signature line. There's a signature already on there. Is this, in fact, your signature, Ms. Mendoza?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Mendoza, when you signed these documents, did you understand that you were giving up all your constitutional rights to a jury trial, a right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, and a right to confront your accusers in open court? Do you understand you were giving up those rights?
Yes, sir.
All right. Further, Ms. Mendoza, I understand from your signature in this document that you have stipulated that exhibits 2 and 3 attached to your plea packet are true and correct copies of the original reports that were gathered as a result of your arrest, including accident reports, incident reports, lab tests, or whatever else they generated. Is that your stipulated agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to find that you have voluntarily and intelligently waived your constitutional and statutory rights. The evidence offered by the state does substantiate your guilt. What is Ms. Mendoza's background?
She has no criminal history, Judge.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Why are we, she has no, what do you do, Ms. Mendoza?
I'm just working right now, sir. I work
Where
at
are you working?
I work at McDonald's.
Ms. Mendoza, we come to a crossroad here, and I'm going to ask you some very important questions. Number 1, was this a stupid mistake on your part?
Yes, sir. It was a mistake.
Have you learned from it?
Yes, sir.
I don't want to give her a conviction. Ms. Aranda, do you have any objection to that?
No, Judge, we have no objection. She doesn't have any other criminal history aside from this.
Here's where I'm at. I can either find you guilty and give you 2 years straight up probation, but you're guilty of this will be on your record. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I can go the other way. I will not find you guilty this morning, but I will still follow the recommended sentence and place you on probation for 4 years. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you complete probation without me finding you guilty, if you complete that probation at the end of the term, this case will be as if it was dismissed. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
That way, whenever you answer an application for employment, have you ever been convicted of anything, of a felony? You can honestly state on that application, no. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The alternative, if I follow it the way you were going this morning, 2 years probation and 2 years in the Department of Incarceration, Corrections, and probated for 4 years, I have to find you guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So the court said it's going to go ahead and place you on 4 years deferred adjudication. That's probation too. But if you successfully terminate it, end it, and serve it, at the end, you get a prize. No conviction on your record. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I do.
So it's very important that you keep your nose clean, behave. You have learned that this is not a good way to go at it. You're still young. This is not a way to go and ruin your life right off the bat. Drinking has consequences, Ms. Mendoza.
Yes, sir, I understand.
It's a lot of fun while you're drinking and hanging out, but when you get in behind in the car, now you've gotten into a different realm. Now it's not about you, it's about the rest of the people.
Mhm.
And I think that you have already learned that
Yes,
because
sir.
stuff happens. It happens at the wrong time. In your mind, you think you're going to get away with it. You're going to go home, sleep it off, no problem. I'm sure that now you did not think that this would ever happen, right?
Yes, sir. I didn't think so.
Right. And that's when it really does, when you least expect it. That's why you have to be very adult about what your decisions are, Ms. Mendoza. Just like you
Yes.
do at work. You're not going to put your hand in that frying pan because you know it's going to burn. Now you know that this will burn too. If you go out and drink it and get into a car, you know it burns, and you already have a little history.
Yes, sir.
So the next time if you do it again and you get caught again, guess what? Guess what? You're going away.
I understand.
Do you really?
Yes, sir. I promise you, I
All
understand.
right. Well, we'll see what your performance is on probation because I demand that you comply with the conditions. That's the exchange for your freedom right now, is that you comply with all the conditions I'm going to give you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How often do you work?
I work for
How often do you work?
4 times out of the week.
From what time to what time?
I work from 7 to 5.
Okay. How long have you been working at McDonald's?
At the beginning of the year, sir. I want to say the end of January.
Okay. What is your game plan for the future? McDonald's?
No, sir. Originally, my plan was to go into the military, and I still want to do that. So, but I'm just trying to get everything out of the way before I can.
All right. Well, this will help. This will help what I just did.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. You ready? Mr. Cortez,
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
morning.
Defendant will remain arrest-free.
Very important one, Ms. Maldonado. No more arrests. I don't want a pair of handcuffs hitting your wrist again while you're on probation in my court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And it doesn't matter to me, Mendoza, whether you're guilty or not of what you've been arrested. I don't care. You've been arrested again. That's enough for me to revoke you and send you to prison. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, then. Next.
Alcohol and drug evaluation.
Yes.
Interlock device.
Do you drive? Do you have a car, Ms. Mendoza?
Oh, yes, I do have a car. I'm sorry.
Well, here's where it's going to get expensive for you. We're required to order you to have an interlock device in that car. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Granted.
Random UAs.
No,
Breathalyzer.
no. Random UAs, yes. Random UAs, yes.
Random UAs.
No breathalyzer.
Got it. Restitution, if any.
Yeah, if any.
Victim impact panel. Matt. It usually would be the face-to-face with a real victim. But since the COVID and stuff, so we do the victims of victims video. They do it online.
And so she just gotta watch it and then you know if she's watched it or what?
Yes, they have to fill out a form. They'll give her a form to fill out.
All right. All right, that will be at your convenience, Ms. Mendoza, to watch this video. It's required, that one or the other one, so, you know, I'm gonna give you one.
Victims
All right.
of video. Okay, and then we'll go with the 12-hour DWI class.
Well, what is mandatory? All of those?
The 12-hour class is mandatory, Your Honor.
Well,
The
that I have to
victims
check
saw
on that.
victims
You know?
video, it's for drunk drivers. It's a video showing how they impact other people when accidents
Yeah,
occur.
well, I have to do the mandatory 12-hour.
Okay,
That is required by law. I can't get around. And the victim impact would be a good one on the video at your own time, Ms. Mendoza.
Yes, sir.
yes, they could do that anytime online.
All right,
And did the maintain gainful employment?
yes.
County jail as a condition of probation?
How many, is that required?
I
How many days is required, Ms. Peña?
would ask the state on that.
Ms. Peña? You're muted.
My understanding was like it was her first DWI, Your Honor, so
What is it? 10
I
days?
think it
or
was
3?
like, it would have been like one day, which would have been Friday to Saturday, that kind of thing. But
But
this is an assault, I would have to check whether, because
Well,
the
just- Why
regular
don't you
third
check the
degree.
statute and tell me how many days it is so I can formulate something here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Rivera, who's in the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor, he's from the divorce case.
Okay.
He doesn't have an attorney yet. And
Well, no, well, I understood he signed a waiver. This is Mr. Martinez.
Sí.
Me dijeron que archivaste un papel que dijiste que no querías nada que ver, que está bueno, el divorcio está bien. ¿No es verdad eso?
A ver, ¿cómo pregunto?
Me dijeron, me dijo el abogado, tell him that the lawyer for his wife told me that he had signed a waiver. He had filed a waiver.
Está diciendo ahorita el señor juez, señor, que el abogado de su esposa dijo que usted había firmado una renuncia a comparecer, o sea que había estado usted de acuerdo por escrito para no comparecer el día de hoy a esta audiencia.
Firmé unos papeles, pero solamente me dijeron que era para estar de acuerdo que iba a ser esta corte, pero...
Well, I only signed some papers and they were telling me that it was only just to be in agreement that this hearing was going to be going on.
All right, well, just hold on a second then. Tell him to hold on and we're waiting for the attorney to come back on.
Espérese un momento, estamos esperando al abogado.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, are we through with Ms. Mendoza?
Believe we're waiting on Ms. Peña.
Oh, Ms. Peña.
I'm checking, Your Honor. I just saw it. Wait, I gotta go back. I see for the first, but I don't see for the intoxication assault. All it has is 2 to 10, 180 days to 2 years, and 1,000 the fine.
Your Honor, if I may.
So
in
that's
section-
a
Go ahead,
find it-
Miranda.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. In section 49.09, it's a requirement for 30 days after a conviction. It's my understanding because she doesn't have any prior convictions that the 30-day minimum is not required in this case.
So we're not requiring jail time in this case?
No, Judge.
All right, well then,
That's my understanding.
there's your answer, Mr. Cortez.
All right, thank you.
You heard
And
it
that's the last
you heard it
condition
straight from
for
the
now.
prosecutor's mouth.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor. I would
All
just
right.
need a phone number from her, please.
Ms. Mendoza, I want you to give me a phone number where you can be reached 24/7 by the probation department.
Okay, my phone number is 956-734-7721.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Mendoza. Please don't come back to see me with a revocation of probation. Comply with it. It's in your best interest so you can get into the armed forces.
I promise you I will, sir.
And if you have an issue where, you know, something is happening that we need to adjust some of this for you to get into the armed forces, you talk to your probation officer and tell them that you would like to get back to me and come back and see how we can help you get into the armed forces, but not this being an impediment on you, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
And
it.
you have any other issues regarding that, do not do like what the rest of the knuckleheads that are on probation do. They don't talk to the probation, they don't tell them what the problem is, what's the deal, because at the end of the time, the probation officer will come in here and say, well, she never told us any of that, he never told us any of that. They need to understand what your life is looking for, why are you having a hard time doing certain things? They need to understand that. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I do understand.
All right, then. Have a good day and good luck, Ms. Mendoza.
You too, sir. Thank you.
All right.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
How long is the drive to Wyndham?
I have to go to juvenile court today, Judge. I'm not going to Wendor.
Yeah, right. Ms.
Have a great day.
Ms. Peña, just for your edification and for your digest, we know where you're at the whole time, Mendoza. We know your little travel circuit in Oklahoma. You started with over. I know where you moved to. We've got it. We've got your route.
I told my casino host to hide my name.
Have a good day.
You too, Judge.
All right. Mr. Delgadillo, I had Capias, Mr. Pardillo. Mr. Delgadillo, you were there.
Delgadillo, ¿está usted ahí?
He was just there. All right. Mr. Mendoza, what did you come up with? Robert?
Your Honor, on a short notice, what I found was basically because there's the issue of the presumption of the being the father of the child.
Right.
Under 160.305 of the Family Code, that the only way to go around that would be to have a simultaneous or concurrent acknowledgement of paternity and an acknowledgement of denial of paternity, and then submit both, and those were considered to be an adjudication of paternity. But you have to submit those two forms if the parties are available. Otherwise, the literature and case law seem to say that you just have to wait and then at the birth, submit the child to a DNA and get the results for the court.
Well, Mr. Martinez, despite your assertion of waiver, Mr. Martinez is present. He's in the screen right now.
Aquí ahorita está en este momento presente el señor Martínez, y lo que se acaba de decir, señor Martínez, es de cuando hay un embarazo durante un divorcio, entonces hay de dos formas de llevarlo a cabo: la aceptación de la paternidad de una de las partes y el asegurar que no es el papá quien está casado con la señora. Esa es la única forma, esas son las únicas dos formas de llevar a cabo esto. La otra viene siendo, después de que nazca el bebé, entonces hacerle una prueba de ADN para saber quién es el papá del bebé.
Pero, ¿de qué bebé están hablando? Disculpe.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
Is that your soon-to-be ex-wife is pregnant?
La señora que va a ser su ex esposa prontamente está embarazada.
Okay.
Okay.
My understanding is that you've been separated for 3 years.
Tengo entendido que están separados por 3 años.
Correcto.
Correct?
So, are you prepared today to say that you're the father of that child?
¿Está preparado usted el día de hoy para decir que usted es el papá de ese bebé?
No, yo no soy el papá de ese bebé.
No, I'm not the father of that baby.
All right, Mr. Mendoza, what do you want to do?
Based on that, he's been sworn, right?
Raise your right hand.
Levante su mano derecha, por favor, señor.
You solemnly swear from the testimony given be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
De acuerdo al testimonio que va a llevar a cabo usted hoy en la mañana, va a ser la verdad y solamente la verdad. ¿Lo jura usted por Dios?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Martinez, you've met with me before, right?
Señor Martínez, usted y yo ya nos hemos presentado, ¿verdad?
Sí, hace como 8 o 10 meses, más o menos.
Yes, like around 8 or 10 months.
And your wife is asking for a divorce,
Su esposa está solicitando un divorcio.
and you signed a waiver. You can lower your hand.
Puede bajar su mano. Usted firmó una renuncia de comparecencia.
Is that correct?
¿Es correcto?
No entiendo exactamente lo de esa renuncia, solamente recuerdo que firmé los papeles para decir sobre esta corte que iba a ser sobre un divorcio.
I don't know exactly what waiver means. I only know that I did sign some documents with regards to this hearing.
Okay, and you're in favor of the divorce. You're in agreement with the divorce. Is that correct?
Usted está a favor del divorcio, ¿verdad? Usted está de acuerdo en divorciarse.
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
And you just stated a little while earlier that you're not the father of the child that Ms. Martinez is currently pregnant with. Is that correct?
Y usted acaba de declarar hace unos segundos que usted no es el papá del bebé que está esperando la señora Martínez, ¿correcto?
Correcto, no, yo de hecho ya tiene mucho tiempo que no le he mirado, no. Solamente he hablado con mis niñas y eso es todo. O sea, yo con ella no tengo absolutamente nada.
Correct, yes. Well, it even has been some time now that we haven't even seen each other. I just talked to my kids and that's it. I haven't seen her in a pretty long time.
De hecho, no
We don't have
sabía,
anything to do with each other anymore.
de hecho, no sabía que estaba embarazada, por lo mismo que no hablo con ella.
Actually, I didn't even know that she was pregnant. And the case is that, well, we don't even talk to each other. That's why.
If we're allowed to go through the divorce, would you be willing to sign a denial of paternity at the end of the divorce?
Si se nos permite después, perdón, si se nos permite llevar a cabo este divorcio, ¿usted estaría de acuerdo de firmar un documento donde usted está negando la paternidad de este bebé?
Sí, correcto. Disculpe.
Yes, correct.
Una pregunta.
One question.
Es que yo no tenía nada entendido de que había una persona embarazada ni nada de eso. Yo lo que tenía entendido era que íbamos a venir solamente para hablar sobre el interés de Alison Martínez y Alexandra Martínez. Yo no sé
Permítame,
nada.
señor.
Okay.
My understanding was that we were just going to be here in this hearing talking about the interest of Alison and Alexandra Martinez. I didn't know anything about nobody being pregnant or anything of the sort.
Okay, we understand that.
Eso lo entendemos, señor.
Okay.
So you're willing to sign?
Mr. Mendoza, before
Yes, Your
you
Honor.
continue the question, what is your game plan? So he says he'll sign that he denies the father.
The only thing else.
What are we going to do with the fact that there is no father and we're divorcing her without the father and there is no obligation for child support for the new baby and all that stuff?
That is the what I got from the statutes that I read right now is that the best way to handle this is now that Mr. Martinez is willing to sign a denial of paternity is for the real father, which I would think is with my client, is to sign an acknowledgement of paternity to protect the rights of the child and the interest of the child.
Right. So what, do you need some time for that?
I'm trying to get my client on the screen so I can ask her if she's with the father of the child. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, no, but if whatever you need, I mean, we could do it right now.
Well, let me ask you this.
We need him to be served and brought in here to establish paternity either voluntarily or involuntarily. You understand that? We need a name.
Okay, it will be Gabriel Reyes and it would be voluntarily.
Okay, then yes, Your Honor, I would need some time to at least prepare an answer for him. So, or at least an appearance, a notice of appearance, and also get him to sign the paternity acknowledgement. And that way, at that point, that should facilitate the divorce.
All right. What is the, that aside, what is the situation with the children of Mr. Carlos Martinez's children? What is going to be the request made by by your client regarding visitation and child support?
¿Cuál va a ser la situación en lo que se refiere a los hijos del señor Carlos Martínez? ¿Cuál es la situación en lo que se refiere a la manutención de Martínez y visitas y todo en relación a las niñas?
Your Honor, there is a child support order under 2018 DCL 3396, which provides for child support in the amount of 327. I'm not certain on the medical support at this point, but it also has standard possession orders for the visitations.
Okay.
Su señoría, de acuerdo al número expediente 28 DCL 396, la cantidad de manutención de menores viene siendo mensual 327 dólares. En lo que se refiere también a la posición y todo, todavía lo estamos viendo en relación a eso.
Mr. Martinez.
Señor Martínez.
You are currently paying child support, right?
Actualmente está pagando manutención de menores, ¿verdad?
Sí, semanalmente.
Yes, weekly.
Okay, and you also have visitation rights with the children, right?
Y también tiene derecho a visitas con sus hijas, ¿verdad?
Sí, por el momento no les he podido mirar, pero no es como se está llevando porque no estamos cerca.
Well, lately I haven't been able to see them, but it's because we haven't been close.
What?
¿A qué se refiere? ¿Qué quiere decir usted con eso?
Oh, porque las niñas están con su mamá y como ellas están fuera, pues no les he podido llegar a mirar. Hasta en diciembre fue la última vez que yo les pude ver.
Where are the children?
¿Dónde están las niñas?
Con su mamá, tengo entendido en Florida, no sé en qué exactamente.
Well, my understanding is that they're with their mom in Florida.
Where are the children, Ms. Martinez?
¿Dónde están las niñas, señora Martínez?
We currently live in Port St. Lucie, Florida. We moved here back in October.
Actualmente estamos viviendo en Port St. Lucie, Florida. Nos regresamos en diciembre.
So we moved here on October.
Nos cambiamos aquí en octubre.
And did you ask the court permission to take the children with you to Florida?
I did not.
Okay.
¿Pidió permiso para llevárselos a la Florida? No, no lo hice.
And the reason you went to Florida is for a better job or for a better living for you?
La razón por la cual se le fue a la Florida es para un mejor trabajo, sí, así es.
What are you doing?
¿Qué está haciendo usted?
I am a medical assistant. I work in Cleveland Clinic hospitals. So my pay rate has doubled. And obviously, I mean, in Brownsville, I did not have a good job. I wasn't making enough money. And as you see, I was only getting $300 of child support for both kids. And the expenses were just too much. And I did find a better job over here. I get paid more. I also get paid for living here because I am originally from Texas. So it is completely 2 times or even 3 times more than what I was making in Bronzeville.
Well, you have improved the life, but here's where my problem is. Here's where the question I have.
Mm-hmm.
So you have effectively cut off Mr. Martinez from his parental rights. How is he seeing the children? Or you tell me, how is he seeing the children?
At first, I would travel to Texas every 3 to 4 weeks to drop them off with him. And then once it started getting a little bit more expensive for me because I was covering all the expenses, I told him that if it was okay for him to have them during holidays, like the long holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, spring break, the summertime, all that. But since I just moved here in October, that hasn't really happened. The only holidays that have been Thanksgiving and the Christmas vacation, which he did have them.
Well, but spring break just happened.
Yeah. He said he couldn't be able to take care of them for spring break, so that's why they didn't go.
¿Entiendes? Do you, Mr. Martinez?
Señor Martínez, ahorita todo lo que se ha estado diciendo, las preguntas que se le han estado llevando a cabo a su esposa es en relación a la razón por la cual ella se fue a la Florida a vivir y por qué se llevó a las niñas. La razón es porque consiguió un mejor trabajo allá, está en una cadena de hospitales donde le están pagando prácticamente 3 veces más de lo que le estaban pagando aquí en Brownsville. Aquí en Brownsville no estaba pudiendo ella sostener a sus hijas, sobre todo también solamente recibiendo $300 de manutención de menores. Ahora bien, en lo que se refiere a las visitas, está diciendo que normalmente las vacaciones largas es donde usted se quedaba con ellas. En octubre, como se mudaron en octubre para allá, el Día de Dar Gracias no pudieron estar con usted, pero en Navidad sí. Ahora el juez le pregunta sobre las vacaciones de Spring Break, que es el receso de primavera, y está diciendo que usted fue el que no las pudo cuidar en las vacaciones de Spring Break, o sea, el receso de primavera.
Sí, las vacaciones de Spring Break, pues lamentablemente yo sí las hubiera querido tener, pero yo trabajo en un restaurante aquí, entonces se me iba a hacer mucho el gasto pagar boletos, de ir por ellas, regresar y pues aquí en
A ver,
Brownsville.
permítame. Well, the thing is that, yes, I couldn't do that because I was working in a restaurant. I work in a restaurant over here, and it's too expensive. I had to pay for plane tickets and all of that, so I didn't have the money to do that with.
Sí, sí hubiera querido ir por ellas, pero yo sé que aquí en Brownsville es una semana de Spring Break. No sé si allá cambie, sean más días, pero no le iba a ser como para en una semana ir por ellas, regresar. Iba a ser como el gasto solamente para.
I don't know. Well, over here it's going to be only just 1 week of spring break. I don't know how they do it over there. Probably they have more days, but it was going to be very expensive for me to go and come back and get them and take them back. And I didn't have the money to do that with.
I understand that.
Entiendo eso, señor.
So we're going to leave it like it is, but I want to modify that.
Voy a dejar las cosas tal como están, pero las voy a modificar.
You'll get them during summer vacation.
Los va a tener usted para las vacaciones largas de verano.
And at that time, you need to make arrangements and be prepared to take care of those children for at least a month.
Y tiene que hacer arreglos usted y estar listo para cuidarlas tan siquiera por un mes.
Sí.
Yes.
And I'm going to order that both you and her are equally responsible for the plane tickets.
Y voy a ordenar también que ambos van a ser equitativamente responsables de la compra de los boletos.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to order you, Mr. Martinez, to provide medical support for these children.
Y también, señor Martínez, le voy a ordenar a usted que proporcione seguro de gastos médicos para estos niños.
Disculpe, eso cómo lo puedo usar. Estoy de acuerdo con eso, no tengo ningún problema. Solamente no sé qué tenga que hacer para llevar eso a cabo.
I'm in agreement with that and everything. I don't have a problem with it, but I just don't know how to do it. How do I do that? How do I get that?
Ms. Martinez, do you have insurance for the children right now?
Actually, I'm just waiting for the divorce to go through so I can put my girls on my insurance at work.
Ahorita lo que estoy tratando de hacer, su señoría, es
Okay.
tratar de ponerlos en el seguro de la compañía. Está nada más terminar con lo del divorcio.
Mr. Martinez. Ms. Martinez has told me that she intends to secure insurance through her employment for the children.
Señor Martínez, lo que me está diciendo la señora Martínez ahorita es de que ella está tratando de conseguirles el seguro de gastos médicos para sus niñas.
And her employer has told her that we need to get this divorce done so she can start that process of enrolling them in insurance with her employer.
Y el patrón de ella le está diciendo que se necesita terminar este divorcio para entonces ya incluir a las niñas dentro del seguro de gastos médicos.
She's going to be charged a premium for insuring those children.
A ella le van a estar cobrando una prima para asegurar a esos niños.
That's your obligation.
Esa es la obligación de usted.
You're to reimburse her for whatever she's paying for those children.
Cualquier cantidad que ella está pagando para que esas niñas tengan el seguro, usted se lo tiene que reembolsar a ella.
Okay.
That's what the law requires.
Y eso es lo que requiere la ley.
Unless you find a way to insure them yourself.
Ahora bien, si usted las puede asegurar, entonces así sea.
Okay, de acuerdo.
But while she's paying for the insurance, it's not fair that your obligation is being discharged by her.
Pero mientras ella esté pagando por esta prima, no es justo que usted no le esté reembolsando a ella y que usted ya no tenga esa responsabilidad, ¿entiende?
De acuerdo, disculpe, ese pago sería basado en el de child support, ¿se va a agregar más o ese pago?
Yes, I'm in agreement, but how do you... How do you do this? Is it going to be included with the child support, or how does this work?
It's going to be as part of child support. Yes, that's what the law requires, that you're on top of child support, you're to provide medical insurance for the children.
Sí, aparte de la manutención de menores que tiene que pagar usted, que se le requiere, usted tiene que pagar también un seguro de gastos médicos.
Ok, ¿ese lo haría yo aparte o cómo haría los pagos?
She will tell you how
Okay.
much she's spending and you need to pay her back that money.
Okay.
Ella le va a decir a usted cuánto ella se está gastando. Lo que ella se esté gastando, eso es lo que usted le va a estar pagando a ella. Pero ella le va a decir a usted.
Okay.
Because
Ok,
she doesn't have the insurance yet.
todavía no tiene el seguro.
Once we get the divorce, she's going to apply for it through her employment.
Una vez que ya estén divorciados, ya que estén divorciados ustedes, ella solicita el seguro a través de su patrón, o sea, de su trabajo.
At that time, they're going to tell her how much it's going to cost for her to enroll her children.
Y en ese momento le van a decir a ella cuánto le va a costar a ella tenerlos inscritos en el seguro.
Está bien.
At that point, she's going to get a written letter. She's going to send it to you.
Ahí en ese momento le van a dar una carta por escrito a ella y ella le va a mandar a usted esa misma carta.
Una copia de esa carta.
Okay.
Va a ser una copia de la carta.
So that you will know what she's paying.
Para que usted pueda saber cuánto está pagando ella.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. That'll be the order of the court. Mr. Mendoza, did you follow?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. And
Equally,
I do-
both parties to equally be responsible for travel plans for the visitation. And Mr. Martinez is ordered to reimburse her the premiums for the enrollment of the children that are for the portion of the insurance that is assigned to the children's coverage.
Disculpe.
I did get those details, Your Honor, and I just want to
And I'll
extend my
give you
apologies.
30 days to get Mr. whoever in here or do whatever you're going to do. And the court will conditionally find that it has jurisdiction to grant this divorce by virtue of the domiciliary requirements of the family code. The court, after hearing the evidence of the petitioner, hereby number one, orders consolidation of this case with cause number. What is the cause number on the other one?
Cause number is 2018 DCL 03396.
The court will order that case to be consolidated into this case. And all the provisions of child support and visitation, including medical support, to be adopted by the court.
Ahorita en ese momento se presentó en forma y en regla, se resuelve por parte de este juzgado que de llevar a cabo este divorcio, hablando de la manutención de menores y las visitas y todo. También se va a consolidar a este expediente, el expediente anterior del 2018, DCL 396. Este mismo va a consolidarse con este número de expediente actual.
Disculpe, una pregunta.
One question.
Sobre los viajes, va a ser como nos lo dividiríamos y aparte del verano, ¿qué vacaciones me corresponden a mí? Así para tener todo claro y entendido.
Necesita usted que acoplarse con un abogado porque va a estar un decreto en inglés. Si usted no sabe inglés, llévalo a alguien que sabe inglés que te lo lea. Ahí está sentado todo.
Ok.
Pero por eso va a haber un decreto final. Después de esto, le voy a dar 30 días para que traigan al padre del hijo, del embarazo, a esta demanda, para sentarle child support para ese hijo, donde está embarazada ella. ¿Me explico?
Sí.
En ese punto se va a hacer un decreto de divorcio diciendo que tú no eres el padre del hijo que trae ella ahorita, que está embarazada, afirmando el child support que ya estás pagando, afirmando la obligación del medical support que acabamos de hablar, del mantenimiento de la aseguranza para los niños, asegurando los viajes que se compartan en los gastos. Va a estar todo sentado en escrito en este decreto de divorcio. Tú necesitas que asegurarte una copia de ese divorcio para que te lo lea alguien, para que te diga qué son tus derechos y cuándo, de a qué horas y a cuánto. Yo no puedo sentarme aquí toda esta mañana a explicarte todo eso. Y además de eso, no está finalizado todavía, no hay nada por escrito. Lo estoy ordenando ahorita.
Okay.
Okay. So, the court will conditionally grant the divorce and we reset this matter for 30 days to finalize the divorce.
Este juzgado condicionalmente está otorgando este divorcio y se van a llevar a cabo ya después que todo esté listo.
Do we have a date at this time or?
April 21st.
21 de abril.
Lo he divorciado, señor Martínez, por mientras, pero no hay un decreto de divorcio todavía, no, porque lo tuve que demorar 30 días para darle oportunidad al abogado para que dé notificación al padre del hijo que traen en el embarazo, para después arreglar que ese asunto en el mismo decreto de divorcio, ¿me explico?
Sí.
Entonces, por ahorita lo voy a demorar 30 días. Usted ya no tiene que aparecer porque el asunto que se va a tratar tiene nada que ver con usted. Ya arreglamos la situación de usted.
Ok.
Pero a usted le queda la obligación, la responsabilidad de que 30 días, figúrese ya se finalizó el divorcio, tome la causa, el número de la causa del divorcio, se va al tercer piso de aquí, de este mismo edificio donde está, en la corte de la District Clerk, y les pide una copia del divorcio final, un decreto del divorcio final en esta causa, para que usted lo traiga a su mano, para que alguien se lo explique, para que usted lo entienda y para que prosiga con las obligaciones que le dan a usted y a ella. ¿Me explico?
De acuerdo.
Okay. All right. We'll see you 21st. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.